stuck for the part.
Tevin, you are speeching, is what I have been told. What are you speeching on?
Because I was lazy and I couldn't make something.
What are you wondering about it?
Okay, so
Oh, that speaker.
there's
25th of this month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you got the
I think
glasses.
that's 25th. Maybe it's 26.
Of course I did.
Nice.
We're doing something on the Friday at my house
never
before, and then
not.
all day will be at the co-op.
Nice.
And we're gonna.
So Saturday's the 26th.
I'll go with that too.
That day, Saturday the 26th. All right. Right after this, I'm gonna go get that off work
Blind glasses.
because no one told me.
You should have seen the way Jeremy drove me
This
down
is
here.
for the young women.
I stood up in the back seat of his car,
Mm-hmm.
Jeep, and then I held onto the bar over the top.
Oh, did you?
And so when
Hang
he
out?
drove, yes, and so when he drove me down here, my jacket was flowing. Because I
Ooh,
was standing.
I'd like to see that.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, he's
How
got
could
the
I ever
hair.
forget? The hair
He's
was flowing
definitely
too.
got the
It
hair.
felt
The
amazing.
hair. The hair.
It made my toes tingle. It was so great.
Well, we need to find like a hike to do. And the
Yes.
bishop had said that there was some that you had mentioned. I mean, I've done several up there, but I didn't know if you had something that.
There's a 6-mile hike.
We could do half of it.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers. Don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, God is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
Poor Emma.
Yeah, that's
No,
a pretty
not
good
for Emma.
balance.
This could
1,
be a
2
really great
versus
thing for Emma.
1,
She's like,
2,
check
3,
me out.
4, 5, 6.
Done. We'll put your glasses on, man. Cause you got a little mic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because I told him he had to prepare like a 1-minute thing to say.
A 1-minute talk to say.
Yeah, so he was super prepared for that.
But I want to
Oh, yeah.
postpone the Saturday activity until about the middle of November.
Why? Why so long?
Why?
Brian Head opens up.
Shut up! I leave November 17th, you turd. I want to do something.
Okay, well, we'll do it before November.
We decided when
17th.
we're doing something.
We could do it. We could do it next Saturday, not this
You're
one.
trying to freaking exclude me.
Next Saturday.
Hey, well, this is Sister Stout's meeting,
No,
so we're gonna.
it's good. It's like you guys do dominate that if you need to.
It's a
You need
community
to have
meeting.
Discussion. Bishop talked about jobs and how you should be thinking about those jobs so that you can prepare, and as you get an education, you can figure out what you want to go into. And hopefully during the last month, you may have had some time to, no, Jackson didn't think
What?
about anything, okay. I'm like, hopefully you
My
had
schedule is work and sleep, so.
But
Yes.
still, you have to be thinking at some point you'll come home from a mission, and what's the goals from there? So it's good to be thinking of those things and thinking. And another thing I had looked at
the
since
goal?
we had met is looking at how the job market is too. I know a few years ago there were several, and I can't remember what. There were lots of people that are going into a certain occupation, going to college, and there were all these people that had degrees and no jobs for these degrees. But to be able to see kind of where the job markets are too, because there was such a push quite a few years ago on getting degrees that several people, or lots of people weren't going into technical schools. And there were lots of jobs left with no one, and lots of people with degrees with no jobs. So it's always good to kind of look at what's needed too. So today, we're going to be talking about how to prioritize, how to avoid distractions, and how to do things. I think we all get stuck in those same pits.
Yes.
So the first thing they had is a little video. Taryn, will you find a little plug? Oh, you plugged it in for me. Good job. I didn't bring a big phone, I'm sorry, a big TV in here, but I figured we can watch it on here, it'll be fine.
Can't get
All right.
caught lacking.
Can't get
I'm gonna
called.
flip off this.
back.
So you guys can come a little closer, because like I said, it's just on my camera, on my phone, but this is just a little one on exercising faith in Jesus Christ.
All right.
Taking action is the exercise of faith. The children of Israel are carrying the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, pretty loud.
They come to the River Jordan.
So, Jackson, I'll call on you.
Yes.
Why do you think that God needs us to have faith to help with action? In fact, let's see, what the question they said is, why is faith necessary for God to help us temporarily and spiritually?
I mean, if you don't have faith, then what do you have? I guess what I'm getting at is, without faith, you really have nothing. If you don't have faith in God, then who's going to help you?
There's a lot of process that goes through, and it's not just one day saying, oh, let's go.
Yeah,
You know, he's done a lot of action already to get to the point where he's at.
yeah. That's good, thanks,
Oh,
Tyson.
thanks, Tyson.
So, a few things, and we didn't bring our books out. Where are our books at?
Let me go get him.
Yeah.
forgot something.
That might be helpful since some people have to read on this.
You know, Chris, it's funny, you were talking about how Jackson getting married to a cute girl in his class. I went to a school that was predominantly gay. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Let's hope it's not predominantly.
Oh, it is.
Predominantly.
I mean, the girls in my class all had like blue hair, orange hair.
They could have been just, Taryn's got girl hair.
They could be
This
misunderstood.
isn't girl hair, this is
That's rocker hair.
exactly.
That is.
No,
That is
I mean,
fat,
like
fresh
to think
rocker
of it.
hair.
I mean, like neon blue and hot pink. I mean, just.
Oh, we always joke about the flip.
Jackson's
Yeah, it's just-
He's got that good one, man.
Alright, so we're in
It
the
just
green.
feels nice when the wind hits it right.
And then you got the glasses on too. The glasses and the blazer.
I would take these off, but they're prescription, so I won't really be able to see without them.
Your sunglasses are prescription.
Three of you guys have
God.
sunglasses today.
You got a problem with it?
Yeah, sunglasses on.
Why is it important, Terry?
Here's your moment to shine.
I'll stand up.
I only
Please
paid
stand
attention because you brought snacks.
What snack?
What snacks?
Boom. Hello, pandas.
Oh,
And
hello, pandas.
goldfishies.
Ooh, nice. Right. Tell us why it's important to act on your education.
Act for yourself. On
Yes,
that.
act for yourself on your education.
Act for
specifically.
yourself.
I think it's important because what?
Just the row of cameras there on you.
Oh God.
This doesn't happen very often.
Second that their life is recorded.
Yeah, pretty much. I could watch it all
No,
over
I just
all
wanted to
night.
get a picture of Taryn in
Oh.
jorts and a jacket.
It's very attractive.
It is, especially
You
with
might
the
wanna
hair.
Get two. Anyways,
That's your new contact
Um,
picture.
I think it's important to act for yourself on your education because I think a lot of the principles that you work on and learn in school, they can follow with you later on in life. Taking responsibility, trying for a reason, not to procrastinate. And when you get, especially like if you plan to go to college or even just later on, as I imagine being a parent, it's important that you yourself are trying to do these right things instead of constantly being told to it's basically, I would say, what's the word, developing good habits for later on in life so that when the time comes again you'll know how to accomplish things yourself, I suppose. In education, it's important. I think of like college. I think it's important to be driving yourself in education so that later on you can continually keep on trying and not give up on yourself. So it's important to act for yourself. And yeah.
Thanks. A little bow for that there, Taryn.
No, I don't bow.
Do a twirl.
Do a hair
Michael
flip.
Scott, do a twirl.
Hair flip.
but now I'm done with the seminar, so
No.
Oh, keep it on.
No.
Oh,
I don't want to
keep
keep
it
it on.
on. Keep it on.
What you gonna do with it now? Just lay it on the floor.
That's what happened with that. Alright, for the next one, you're supposed to get into partners. Emma, are you fine being partners with Taryn? Since we don't have another young woman? Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, looks like
So
Tyson
we'll put you
and
two
Nathan
in,
are
and then we'll put
partners.
you three in.
Oh, man.
If you go to page 32,
Never mind.
it says rate yourself. So Taryn, you gotta sit back a chair.
I
Or
got
she's
going.
good up. Nope, she's good up. So it says rate yourself on the following and circle the item that best describes you. So you guys each. That's
Nice.
Let's talk.
On active,
Nice. You got moderate.
Nice.
I feel like there should
Don't
be a
worry,
4
I
in
can be
between
better
there
too.
because
On
That's
my.
stretching it a little bit.
There we go.
But I don't just
I study what I'm
assigned.
assigned. I don't need no extra work. What about you, sir? What do you study?
Kind of between their
I think you need to be-
You do as little as possible to get by. You know what? That's pretty nice. I was like that at one point.
I
Don't worry.
sometimes study well, and sometimes get distracted. Well, it's not my fault I have ADHD.
Responsible. Oh, I definitely forget to do things all the time. Like, I'll tell people I'll do stuff, and I don't do it for a long time. But I do some things, but I mean, I definitely can't be always trusted to do it. I can say that could get somewhere.
Maybe you should encourage him.
Give him a knife.
Today I run the streets for NHS Council, and I'm the president, and everyone else has brung theirs like days before, and I was the final person to bring it, like almost a week after everyone else.
Why do they put cotton pill
It stresses me out if I don't.
I do a lot of times, but I mean, I am free sometimes. Now let's go into discipline. I definitely don't have a regular study routine. I sometimes study well and sometimes get distracted because as
you're
I'm
ready to
doing
go to-
homework, especially with my friends.
You go to
Texas.
Texas.
I should just say friends, it's only Jeremy. Let's be honest, there's not friends, there's only friend.
You yeed your last hog.
We definitely don't work.
When she's
well.
the
We
yee
get
to your hog.
distracted Heavily. I'll
I
start
love
to
that
do
ring
something,
so
and I'll
much.
realize I don't want to do it, and I'll wait until about 11:30
She
at
was
night,
the yee
and
to
then I'll
my
start.
hog.
Ooh.
Then she
I
yeed her
sometimes
last
study
hog.
well and sometimes get distracted.
That's the way it is.
But I was deciding between that one and the procrastinating.
procrastinate
You're
working.
heading to the low end.
Yeah, circling both of them.
I mean, see, I want to go clear down there just because I feel like I do
feel
some of
like-
my stuff on time. I know you can give yourself a little bit of the benefit, but I mean, I'm definitely not that regular study
I feel
routine.
like for the most part,
Actually, no.
I get stuff in on time, but sometimes
But you
I
work
just-
well
I just
on the like, oh crap, it's due.
tomorrow.
But I think the really important thing is, do you want to be the person that has a regular study routine?
Really?
I mean, that just seems like
Kick it out, Sharon.
I think eat,
You're
drink,
out.
and be merry, for tomorrow we die.
Sharon, you're out.
I mean,
No, there were drinks?
I feel like
Drink
it's
and be
just a
merry
little
for tomorrow we
stressful.
die.
How
Oh,
come they're not
where's
having a
that from?
discussion?
From
How come
Taryn,
they're
he
just
just
listening
said
to
it.
us?
joking. That would be a lot better,
Have you seen
especially
the
like
Bill
when
and Ted?
the end of the quarter
I want to
comes
see
and
it.
have
Try
lots
to
of stuff
try to go
catch
get
up
Taryn
on.
to see it with me.
Dude,
He
I
didn't
would go see
respond.
it
But
with
at the same time,
You want to go
a
see it
little rebel
again?
here, a little
What am I doing
undisciplined there,
Cool.
a little late night there.
What time
It's all
tonight?
good.
Dude, I would
It's all part of the
What does it
experience.
say tonight
Do you
on
want
like the times and stuff?
telling your kids?
Oh my gosh,
I always
swear
do my-
I do this all the time.
Alright, yeah, just tell me what you
I
find.
studied every single
I
day
went
for an hour
during
straight.
high school. I went home and the first thing I
I
did was
feel
do my
as though
homework.
Taryn is making this turn into a southward angle because it's not supposed to be happening.
When I got home,
I need to be able to relate to my kids a little bit.
when I got home from school, kids, all I did was
Wait, you have kids?
was
When I'm
Yes, I
older.
do. You never
So-
met them?
No.
Angela wants
Are
to
they in your
relate to her
basement?
kids.
They're handsome.
Yeah, I don't want them to feel
I bet.
so bad about themselves.
I wouldn't doubt
if
it,
I'm
Taryn.
not getting in on time, you know?
I was the perfect.
Well,
I
then
was
that's
the
great,
perfect
but I'm not
student in
gonna
high
force
school.
them, you know?
You were the perfect student? Was that until like this year?
Oh my
We could
goodness.
all use.
Can
I
you-
think everyone could use a little bit more study routine.
I
It
feel
would
like,
definitely
I feel like the
make
middle
my.
is just a good.
I don't have a study routine, I just have a routine.
I honestly
So-
feel like if
So
if
some of us are just shooting for
I feel
just
like
what needs to be
honestly
by.
to
Like,
be com-
I
do
don't.
what I need to before
Read,
it's
look mine.
like-
What?
You don't want to do more.
850. Are we gonna be able to make? Where's that at? Sunset?
Sunset.
Goes on my ad. do
But
it
make that.
tonight, but I probably wouldn't do it like weeks.
Let me tell my mom, see what she says.
I feel like if
So-
5 were a perfect and 1 were the worst, I'd honestly want to be at a 4. I don't know if I'd honestly want to.
Don't
be
worry,
like,
Taryn, you are a
top-
solid 4.
I don't know if I'd want to be incredibly top notch. Like, I got home and I do study for 6 hours every day. It's like, no.
Well,
Just
it doesn't
leave
have to
it.
be that excessive. Like,
Just so you
I get
guys
home and I
know,
study. Like, that's the
I have
routine.
vouchers of
Is I get
Taryn
home and I study. That's
who
what
would
I
study
do.
the
Except I don't get
ACT
home.
And then go through and correct it and write notes as to what he did on each one wrong.
Dude, I
If
guess
that's a
on most of the
5, I
questions.
don't know.
Well, the
That's like-
ACT, that's like different though.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
different.
so-
Yeah, the act is
But
But
different.
if it's
Wait.
bringing the trash out,
Taryn.
we are definitely at a 0, and your mom has to run out when she hears them coming around in the morning, right?
Yeah, very much.
Got him.
Got it.
Taryn.
Alright, Emma, do you want to read this in the bold right at the bottom?
I am in charge of my education. Nobody else can be educated for me. It is up to me to be active, responsible, and disciplined to my education.
So,
Women power.
I'm thinking that instead of like shooting for just average.
I know, it's not good. to shoot.
Being a 4, Taryn, disgraceful.
I think it's better to shoot for average than below average.
Well, yeah. That's how
Yeah.
it
It's
works.
like if I was below average, I'd want to shoot for average. You know?
Yeah, but if you're above average,
So,
you won't want to shoot for
If you
average.
feel as though you're hitting average right now, Emma, where are we gonna try to shoot
Bro,
for?
shoot for below average. And then
High
if you perform
average.
at average, you just
High average.
impress
I think I'd
everyone.
want to be able
Yeah.
to maintain average for a while.
You just want to maintain your average ability.
Well, I have to be able to maintain it before I can shoot for more.
Are you sure?
The next thing
Yes.
you know, you're just maintaining it for life. And all
Yeah.
you're stuck with is average. Average job, average wife or husband.
Average wife or
We're not
husband.
judging here, Emma.
Oh wow.
Emma wants an average husband.
But I
Or
think
wife.
as though the goal is,
Not
is,
judging.
is that we do want to try to go a little bit better. And I think that we can find when we're falling behind on things. And one thing that's good to notice is, as you were mentioning, like, if I have something that's due tomorrow, I'm gonna get it done. So yeah, we'll get it done, but I'm not gonna get it done beforehand. So, does that ever weigh on you though? Like, what if you knew you had this report coming and you're just always thinking about it, right? It's kind of always sitting back there, like maybe not always on the front burner, but you know it needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
Front burner.
Well, you know, it's like you just kind of place
Front
it back.
burner.
Yeah, you kind of place it in the back. You're not worried about it too much.
You just
That's the
power. You
back
just
burner.
power through it. You
Yeah,
just power
sometimes
through
it's
it
not
the
front.
first 2 days.
But
Then like the rest of the month, you just don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
No,
but it's
girl.
like sometimes
Do
those
today,
things start
do
to
it
weigh on
today,
us,
do
especially as
tomorrow,
we
do
have
it
more
tomorrow.
things to
No,
do
that's
it.
not how you
And
do
we've
it.
all
You
had
just
a
power
every
through
one
it
of
as
us-
soon as you
yeah.
can. Then you don't have to worry about it for the rest
Well,
of the
and
time.
not everything can be powered through.
All right.
I
What
mean,
can't be?
sometimes things do have to go in a certain order.
Yeah.
But if we start working on
Can't
it,
have
it's
kids
not
before a mission.
stressful to us. Because there have been things where I've put to the last minute
Can't have
and then
kids
something
before
unexpected comes up and then I'm really, really stressed out.
Wait,
Because it's
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, had I just done this, I wouldn't be in the pickle I'm in.
That
How about
works.
that for you?
Good job. Thank you.
Can I make
Yes.
a comment? You guys, listen to this. We're talking about that we want to be better than average, and we do. We want to achieve things. But
Average
On
kids.
the other hand, I want to
I'm
say
having a
this.
seizure.
The truth is that everyone in this room right now are pretty ordinary people.
Yep.
I don't see a president of the United States, or I don't see, and I'll use the example, I like to ride bicycles, and I can probably beat everybody in this room.
Ooh.
So can you?
I could beat everyone too.
Okay, but now that's that. But
Mhm.
but so I'm going, oh wow, look at, but I get crushed by tons of people, and then the best people in St. George get crushed. They would just get decimated by a Tour de France guy,
Oof.
decimated.
Yes.
In the Tour de France domestics, they get crushed by the GC guys. So the truth is that sometimes if we think, well, we have to
Be the best we
be the
can.
very best, truthfully, we're just kind of just normal average people. That doesn't mean we don't excel. And I have just as much fun riding my bike, maybe more fun than the professionals. But that's a silly example. But it's just that it's way. Hey Megan, come on in. I think it's just that way for everything.
Welcome.
And so I don't know why I brought that up, but we want to excel. It says Megan on the
Yeah.
front cover. Is that hers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's
we want to excel, but we also need to be realistic to not be so hard on ourselves that if we're not the number one in our school class, if we're not the number one on the swim team, if we're not the number one on whatever, that's okay.
I think that's a really good point, Bishop, thanks. But I think with that though, we're always trying to become a better version of ourselves. Yeah. Because there's always things, and I think that's a continual process. It's like in anything we're doing, we can find, even just with scripture study or family home evening, I can find that we're just doing really great, and then we start to slide again, and then we do really great. So I think we're always trying to work on those things.
And we
to
shouldn't
improve.
feel badly about, as long as we're progressing, we shouldn't feel badly about.
Emma, you just got redeemed.
See, look at that, Emma.
No more average husband for you. Sorry, Megan, you missed a lot.
Really good of you.
Yeah.
Things just took a real bad turn. But the bishop saved us.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Darren
So on
wanted an
page
average wife.
33, it's going to talk about how to create a successful routine. Megan, will you read the very top when you get to page 33? And then actually read the next one, so both those parts right here.
Okay. Saying you will be active, responsible, and disciplined is one thing, but doing it is another. To be successful, you need to 1. Prioritize, 2. Overcome procrastination, and 3. Overcome distractions. You can't do anything. Oh, you can't do everything.
Another bad turn. Bishop, save us.
As you are working on your education, tasks related to your education should have a high priority. For example, you want to visit a friend you haven't seen for a while. Good, but you really need to study for a test tomorrow. Better.
Nuh-uh, don't lie. Studying for a test the day before hurts you. Yeah,
I
it
never
does.
study for tests.
Dude.
See, and Emma still is alive. See, do it today, do it
I
today.
had a test today in psychology and I forgot about it, but I got 100%, so it's fine.
Shoot, see, and she didn't study the night before, so she could go out with her friends.
Bro, that's like when I did nothing on
But
the ACT and got a
we are
31.
going to find in
No.
life that we do have to prioritize sometimes.
Or you could do what I do and just do it as soon as
Right
possible.
now, you might be
No,
flying
do it today.
by really
Do it
well.
ASAP, then you don't have to worry about it.
Classes become much harder.
We all
And
know
we
life
do
isn't
have
as
to.
easy as Miss Kitchen's.
It's
not exactly,
rocket science there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, her tests are like,
I always study for tests, though.
I promise there'll be a time you'll have
I
to.
did health science and I didn't study for that.
This, I think this is pretty interesting. The very first paragraph that Megan read. It says, saying you want to be active, responsible is one thing. Saying it and then doing it's another. Last night I was working with someone, who's in the ward, and to try and get to quit smoking. And he said, yeah, I'll try. And I said, you know what? You try basically mean, Bishop, I'm not gonna quit smoking. If you say you're
Do
gonna
it
try,
or not, there
well,
is
yeah,
no
Bishop, I
try.
agree, I'll try to quit. I said, you just basically told me that you have no interest in quitting by saying you'll try. You can't say, well, I'll try to go to school, I'll try to go to college, I'll try to get an education. That means you're not doing it. You need to, I'm going to do the following. This is what I'm going to do.
And I think we have to set up an action plan for that too.
I'm gonna cut down the noise smoke this many a day, I'm gonna do this, a plan, whatever it is we're working on. You have
And-
to actually have a formalized thing and then start doing, it's like you said, you gotta do, you can't just talk.
And I think that that's true in anything we do, is we have to have a plan. And I think that there is great success in not only having a plan, but writing it down. There's something that comes from physically writing things down versus saying, I'm going to do such and such. But once we write it down, there's something that's saying like, I am committing more to it. And then also there's a lot of power in talking to someone else about things. As if someone was coming to the bishop with trying to overcome something, whatever it might be, when you're talking with someone, there's a lot of power that has, I want to do something, and there's someone else that knows I want to do it. Does that make sense? You guys ever done things like that? You prioritize what's the most important. Like something might have not happened, And it doesn't mean next day it's gonna be top priority, because maybe it's still something that can wait a little while. It's like you look at your list again, you're like, this has to be done.
Cross off the easy
So, and
stuff.
I think the same thing happens with us, even as we're going to school, as we're planning things, we realize, okay, my psychology test is tomorrow, pretending like it really is something you would study
Yeah,
for.
even though it was
Sorry.
today, Emma.
But that would be moved up to this priority, and then you would prioritize what needs to be done, right?
Well, and it's not like you over prioritize too. Like you don't have unrealistic things where like I'm gonna try and get all of these jobs done in one day.
Yeah.
Like,
And you start to learn more of what you're capable of doing, because it's like, you're not going to clean your entire house spotlessly in one day if you're gonna do deep clean, but you could be like, you know what? I'm going to deep clean my closet today and then move on. So it's like, we
One day?
kind of have to look at what our goals are.
But I'm gonna
On
do it
page
as soon as
34,
possible.
it says, was Rachel on the page before or not? It says
Oh,
cons-
we gotta read about
consider
her
Rachel's
thing.
situation. She has to write a paper for school by tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
No, not for Mrs. Kitchen.
Dang.
She needs to drive her sister and brothers to their sports practice. She also has to study for a test and choose her classes for next trimester and start applying for grants and scholarships for
Why
college.
should have to do so many
As-
things?
Actually, does that seem that unrealistic though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like writing a paper, driving your brother and sister somewhere, study for a test, choose classes, and you know you've got to do scholarships. You might not do it all on that very same day, but you know those are all the things you need to be doing. So as a group, list everything Rachel has to do in the to-dos column on the following table. We're not gonna, you don't have to listen down if you don't want to, we can just talk about them. So we know what our things are. We
Yeah.
have the school
What's number
paper.
one on the list?
What time does she have to take her siblings?
I would honestly say
Is there
number
no
one is
time?
take her siblings.
Well,
I feel
is it like a time
if it were in
thing?
my house, I wouldn't prioritize that way. But I know you would be like, Tim,
Well,
I
that's
know you
not-
have to study for a
That's
test,
not negotiable.
but you
use your
have to
time.
take them to their sports practice right now.
Yes, but this is the thing. Where mine comes in, mine's you have to take them at 7, so we can do stuff up until 7. So like, is there a time for
But then
it?
you're rearranging everything around 7, which I suppose means you're putting
So
7 as the
now,
most
Yeah.
that's where we have to also think about how we're prioritizing. Because if we're getting things done, when mom
Gosh, we do this
says,
all
I
the
need you
time.
to bring someone, you can make sure you do that and you have to switch it around. And if you were to leave everything to the last moment, that can be a real stress. Okay, so we have, so how would we, if we were prioritizing those things, what would you guys do? Obviously, we know we need to get the brother and sister to a sport.
Okay,
event, so
brother
let's
and
call that
sister,
first.
is
Let's
it-
pretend like that's happening,
well,
so
this
that's
is
done.
Saturday.
That's
or
already
school
out.
day. 'Cause if it was a school day, then she only has like a couple hours to get all this done.
Oh, she's gotta get crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah. So this would be they'd be taking place in the morning if it was a school day. Okay.
So let's look at it. So we've already got the driving. So we have write a paper, study for a test, choose classes, and apply for grants and scholarships.
All right.
What would you do? How would you prioritize that?
I would write the paper as first.
Yeah. Write the paper would probably be most.
Well, see, I don't know. I mean, does she have to do her classes by tomorrow?
See, there we go.
Depends on the due date for her.
Yeah, but
I
do
mean,
we don't
when's the
even know
test?
that.
I don't know when these things are.
Hold on,
So I
Tim.
would say
What kind
so-
of
no,
classes
okay.
are these?
So
Yeah,
the
what
thing
kind
is
of
on here is
classes?
It says to prioritize good, better, and best. So when I used to work for Franklin Covey, they used to do like the old planners, like when people had paper planners, is how we were taught to do things, is you would prioritize and you would list them as like A, B, C, which would be like good, better, best. You would prioritize what needs to be done first, or as like Tyson is, he's looking at worst, what needs to be done first. You prioritize all your high priority things, and then you move down to the medium priority and low priority. Like chances are, if you're applying for colleges and scholarships, you probably don't have to do that all in one day. No one ever does.
Yeah.
But it might be a good idea that you're looking into it. So it's like, that's probably, I'm guessing, more of a low priority.
That's a C.
Because it needs to be done, but it's not all gonna be done in one day. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So it's like you get what has to be done, and then you, within those categories, you prioritize again. So here's the most important, how am I gonna get this done? Then I'll move on to this column, then I move on to this column. So I think as we're looking at your lives, like, you need to get homework done, you probably need to get chores done, right?
No.
Jackson needs to get chores done.
Jackson does.
No,
though.
I don't have to get chores done. I have to pack up.
Okay, because that's unrealistic.
Wait.
Well, see, that's why you don't prioritize everything. Sometimes
Well, we've
parents
done that before, though.
prioritize for
So what do you
you.
think
I
on that,
always-
Megan?
Well, I don't know. What I think is like you're the only one that can do your homework. Well, you're the only one that should do your homework,
Yeah.
and somebody else can like do your chores.
You've
Like,
never
and then you
heard
can
of
just like
photo math?
do
I
their
like
chores
that.
later.
Oh, not photo math.
Like,
It depends
you
on
can like
what
make
it
it up,
is,
but like the
too.
homework's like due.
So, like,
at
if I
There's a
have to clean my
reason we
room-
have mom.
No, so let's let the mom speak now.
You write science or
Well-
projects the night before? Heck
But
yeah.
like,
I think
if I
that
have to
this is
clean,
probably a battle in almost every house, right? Is my fair to say that probably everyone has had this struggle? I'm
Yes.
guessing Tyson, you probably is having kids,
I
right?
have.
It's never a struggle for me. Though.
yeah, he's
But I
scary.
think that that's something that we need to prioritize. That's actually things that you're gonna figure out in life. You're gonna have to figure out how
Did
you
you whip her with the
maintain
towel?
all these
Yeah,
different
he
things.
does.
So here's something to think. If you have to clean up the counters after dinner, and you have a test you have to study for,
All of it's
right?
going in the garbage.
This is gonna be easy for me to prioritize your life. So let me prioritize your
calm
life.
down.
If you got into a good
Let's calm
habit
down.
of when you got home from school, you realize I'm going to set aside time
This
and
is
do my
beforehand.
homework. If we get into certain routines, it makes it easier, and then you realize,
Yeah.
wait, if I just clean these counters off, it's gonna take me 10 minutes, because I'm gonna tell you guys, most chores, I swear to you, would be done in under 20 minutes.
You know,
I don't
that's
care
what
who
my
you
mom
are,
says, but I
right?
prove her wrong.
Because we're kinda smart at that. But I find that a lot
My
of
mom's like,
people,
I could clean this room in
I'm not
5
gonna look at
minutes.
anyone,
Do it.
30.
And
Believe it.
if you talk about not having time to do it, you're wasting more time, and I think that that's gonna come into
Ooh.
play.
So what
with
am I
the rest of
doing
your
here?
life.
Dude,
Got 'em.
Well,
what are we all doing here, guys?
Talking about
We-
doing it, not doing it,
let me
doing
put
it.
this way: if you prioritize your
You
life,
calm down,
you're
Jackson.
probably not going to run into that.
You are hurting
situation,
yourself.
Yeah.
because you're not going to find out about the
I haven't
test
had caffeine
night
in like
before.
3 weeks. My
You're gonna
ADHD
been studying
is
for it
going
for a
all
while.
over the place.
Mhm.
And then you don't have to worry about.
And I think routines are really important too.
Oh yes.
I highly stress that. It doesn't always go over that well, but I think that as you get into certain routines, that things don't become too much of an issue because you just start doing things in a certain pattern. On page 37 is what they did, is they listed some different problems they've had, some different distractions, and then how they can overcome them. One of them I will read before we go on to step 2. It says, whenever my friends want to go to the beach or hang out, I can't say no. I really should be studying, but I want to have fun too. Or, as Terrence so eloquently put it, do I really
Skimboarding?
want to say I studied every night and I want to say I have fun?
I don't know. It's a good
Truck
question,
fire.
is it not? Do you want to say you'd study or do
So-
you want to have fun?
Plan to overcome. While I'm in school, I've decided that Friday and Saturday nights will be the only nights to do fun things with friends. If my friends want to do something fun on another night, I'll say, I'm sorry, but I need to spend my weeknight studying.
Yeah,
Let me
but-
do something on Friday or Saturday instead.
How sure is this guy? Like, is he like he can commit to this, or is he like
Everything on
gonna
here, Braden,
flake himself?
but here's the
He's
thing,
church
every
approved.
single thing in here has nothing to do with these imaginary people, it has to do with you.
Oh,
It's how you can commit.
I
and
can
how
only
you
go to the
prioritize.
beach on weekends.
So
Only on
right here,
weekends.
if you guys just wanna take just a couple minutes, we're almost running out of time, and write a couple distractions that you might find in your life.
Oh, that's a problem.
You're gonna get distracted from writing those distractions.
I'm freaking ADHD. I get distracted by being distracted.
Or he'll get mad at me because I'm on the computer, and he wants to be on the computer, and he just like won't stop bugging me.
What's he got, your
And it's
dad or
really
Mason?
I should tell your parents to buy Liam a computer.
2 hours
So
of World
I
War
said
II
just
sound.
get the laptop instead of like going to home
No,
in my
2
room.
days.
It's
2
like
days.
downstairs where he is. Because for him to get on the computer, he has to go to the bathroom and the toilet. So he'll always come up to me like, "Did you go to potty in the toilet?" I'm like, Liam, I don't need to do that.
That's cute.
Man, I wish my
Does anyone else
parents would
have
do
any
that.
other ones that they wanted to share?
What?
Did anyone else have any other ones?
I was thinking about. Did you go potty in the toilet?
So did you get distracted by that?
Darren gets distracted by potty in the toilet.
So one that I had is I had this TV show I like to watch, but I found that I really didn't have time to watch it. But I now.
What is it?
I like The Toughest Race, like I loved that, like just the stupid adventure things I like to watch.
Dude,
But
that's stupid.
I know, well, it's like I find it was
That's
a
the
waste of my
takeaway from
time.
today.
Well,
They are stupid.
well, they're kind
sometimes.
of a waste of my time, but I do like them.
They are.
But I
Nice.
found that when I go to the gym, I usually start out with the bicycle. If I watch it,
Ooh,
see?
beautiful. What
Sometimes
gym do you go
have
to?
Find different.
I go to a
Would you
gym
like to
too.
know what time I go also?
Well,
Yes.
if I know what gym it is, I don't really need to know the time. I could just stay there.
Oh my god. So creepy.
One of these days, you're gonna go to the gym and Brayden's gonna be right behind you with the camera.
You see me like sulking by the door, just waiting.
Oh my goodness.
I
made myself
what?
Oversized trench
You're
coat
like,
with sunglasses
ice.
and a bowler hat.
He's like, I slept here, waiting.
And just
Alright,
waiting
I
for
knew
it.
you would come, Kristen.
I knew you would come.
Okay.
She tells you for gym, then she is gym.
Yeah.
So Brayden, do you want a list of all the gyms in Southern Utah?
It's alright. I don't need those.
I already go to the
I
mall.
just.
Alright.
I know you have my GoPro.
On that note, we're gonna watch another little video really quick.
Yeah. If you want to see on Pineview, and then I'll drive us there, and then you can get your GoPro when I drive you back.
I'm not concerned about
Oh, that's her cool.
Okay. Well, you can see if Pineview has a later show. 9:30.
When we need to know things will get better. My declaration is that is precisely what the gospel of Jesus Christ offers us, especially in times of need.
Broke his left leg, so I mean,
Oh, he broke his left leg, so he can still drive.
He still got that right foot.
So he's
Throw that on
he's
your
still
calendar.
useless though, because he broke his leg.
Yeah, pretty much yeah.
Hey, thanks, Kristen, that was very good lesson.
Yeah, you did really
Aw,
good.
Emma, you're
I
so
gotta tell her.
cute.
It was so much fun.
Please keep coming.
Please,
Okay,
Emma.
come over.
Yeah, it was so much fun. You did a good job,
I have a
Kristen.
Kristen assignment for you.
Yeah.
You go make sure that the garbage has got taken out of the.
No, because I got my wallet in
I'll
the
go
car.
see.
No, but he's right next to me.
Hello.
Hello. Looks like I have a special mission to go do.
Ooh, a special mission.
You'll have to excuse me as I go.
All right. Oh, he's got them glasses for the special mission. You gotta put the blazer on. Put the blazer on for the special mission.
No, I'm just gonna go with
No, put the blazer on.
Don't go in the basketball court. Because there's wham.
There's women in there.